we go. Welcome into Inside the Tank episode 3. This week, Alex, Juwan, Nick, and Nate back. We have two special guests. We have Evan Sizemore from our men's basketball team, and our brand new coach, Cole Rose, our brand new head coach, men's basketball program. Coach, thank you for joining us tonight. Evan, thank you as well. We know you have a big game to tune in later, but thank you for taking the time with us to join us on the Tank.
Yeah, happy to be here, guys. Thank you guys for putting this together. I've caught a couple episodes so far. Yeah, you guys.
Great, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Like, how did you assemble this crew?
All right, so yeah, we'll do it back. All right, so Juwan, so I met Nick freshman year.
Right.
And that's pretty much how we just started. We happened to be in the same major, and we had a lot of things in common, of course. And then Juwan joined us in January of our freshman year, and we all kind of just meshed really together, like too easily.
Right.
And then when we got back to school for our sophomore year, we had these visions of like, let's do a show. We wrote like 5 scripts. We never taped one episode. We had like these show plans ready to go. And then we got busy with like doing more basketball productions. And then COVID hit. And then we were like, all right, we're in quarantine. We have nothing to do. Let's get this show off the ground. So we did like, what do you guys think? Like 10, 11, 12 Zoom calls?
Yeah, about that.
Summer, we did 10 different like practice shows over last summer.
Wow.
Like an hour with our girls basketball coach, Coach Rita. She helped us do it all, like to have like a guest every week with us. So, and then Nate joined us, who we didn't know. We just he was talked about on our first episode, transferring in, and then we didn't know. He was in the sports major. So I went to go talk to Evan and Coach Balls on the first day. They were telling me, oh yeah, one of our guys is in your major. And so we just incorporated Nate, and it's been the 4 of us ever since.
Yeah, y'all got some great chemistry. Like, it's really impressive, especially for y'all. It doesn't seem like y'all have been doing it too long. Y'all really have some good chemistry on here.
Thank you. Yeah, we only filmed just a handful of episodes in person. It was a little difficult with everyone's schedules, but we had to get it going during the summer again. So we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's a great show. I love it.
Thank you. So we'll get right into it. Nate, do you want to go first since you're going to be playing for Coach come winter time?
You said what?
You want to ask a first question? Kick things off?
Okay. So yeah, I mean the basic question. So what are you most excited for, Coach?
Oh wait. My bad, Nate. I got like a script. Coach, just introduce yourself. My bad. We need our viewers to know who you are. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm feeling so at home already. We just skipped it. No big deal. So I'm Cole Rose. I am the newly appointed men's basketball coach at Palm Beach Atlantic, and I could not be more happy to be there. I'm excited about it. I'm thrilled. We're off and rolling, getting comfortable in the office, getting comfortable in the area, and I can't wait for next year. So, previously I spent the last 7 years at Lee University up in Tennessee, where I was on staff there. That's actually where I finished my playing career as well. Before that, I was a high school coach in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And then before that, I was a player in college. So still relatively young in the business, but man, I can't wait to get started here at PBA. The family is settled down. South Florida's feeling like home, getting used to the heat a little bit, and try not to sweat too much.
How are the lizards treating you guys? Have you seen a lot of lizards?
Okay, the first like 2 or 3 weeks, every time I saw one by my foot, I was jumping because look, I'm from Tennessee. If there's something moving by your foot, it's probably a snake, and you don't want that. So I've had to adjust a little bit, but now it's at the point where I love it. And I tell you, I've got a 4-year-old son named Jack, and he loves them. Like, he chases them everywhere. Like, it's like he's got a whole world of pets just waiting for him outside.
That's awesome. Yeah, we got Nick and Juwan live there full time, so they could tell you they've seen their share of scary animals.
Like
but Nate, Nick, your dogs.
Yeah.
Harper loves chasing those. The ones with the rings, right, Nick? The little ones with
curly
the
tails.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Nate, my bad. So go back to your first question.
Okay, so
yeah.
I was just gonna ask, What are you most excited for, Coach, this upcoming year?
Well, I think, just the opportunity of getting a new job and to look back, there's a lot of ways you can get your first head coaching job. A lot of times that's because the program has not been doing too well. For most head coaches that come into a new situation, like that's the case. And Palm Beach Atlantic, one of the most attractive things about this program is that Coach Balza and Coach Sizemore have done such a good job building this thing up. And I really have a ton of respect for Coach Balza and for Evan too about like how they left the job. So it's kind of made the transition seamless for me. So that was the first thing that was super attractive to it. But man, like if you're talking about what am I most excited about for the season, everything. Like I love coaching basketball. I love it. I love being with a team. It's just like what I'm born to do. So to get the chance to like step into that role as a head coach again, like I'm so excited. And everybody wants to know like, hey, what are the games gonna look like? Nate, man, I'm excited for y'all to get back on campus. Like I'm excited for first day of class, like August 23rd. Like that's what I'm most excited about right now is getting to be with the team on a day-to-day basis and start building those relationships and have a great fall. Like even before we get to that first game, man, I'm fired up.
That's a great first answer. Very enthusiastic. Nick, what about you?
I mean, coming into your first year, Coach, a lot of us, like me, Alex, Jawan, Nate's gotten a chance to know you just a little bit. Just tell us a little bit about like what you're about, like in coaching and just about relationships with the guys or something to that aspect.
Absolutely. I think that, in a lot of ways I coach the same way that I played. And I was never super talented, never the biggest guy on the court, but was able to make a pretty decent career as a player by just trying really, really hard, learning the game, being intelligent, and just saying like, nobody's going to outwork me. And traditionally, our teams have been the same way. If you're looking for like a personality of our team, like we're going to be really hard-nosed. We're going to play really, really hard. It'll probably be unpleasant to play offense against our defense. Like we'll be coming after you. Absolutely.
I love that. Jawan, what about you?
Yeah, just want to touch on that, Coach, because I read up on you and they say you had like a reputation as like a defensive-minded coach. With like the roster that you have now with Nate included and the other players with like pretty much young players with like a lot of length. What do you see? Are you excited about what you could do, like implement your defensive schemes like pretty easily, or like how do you think about that? When you look at the roster, like how excited are you to just go out there and just to get to know everybody when you meet them and just get ready for practice and ready for the season?
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, like Coach Balls and Evan, they did such a good job where it's like I'm coming into it and a lot of the roster was already set. So yeah, we had to sign a couple of guys, but man, a lot of people are asking like, who do you have coming in? Who do you have coming in? I'm really excited about a lot of the guys returning too. And Nate's included in that because there's some really hard-nosed guys that play really, really hard. And it was apparent from my first meetings with the guys individually of like how important this program is to them and how important winning is to them. And number one, if you want to be a great defender, it has to be really, really important to you. You have to have that mindset. And so that's something I kind of felt immediately once I got in the room with them, even on the interview process and was able to do a film session with the team. I mean, I think it was pretty clear that's what I'm about. And those guys really responded really well. So it's going to be a growth process. It's not going to be quick, but our goal is to be playing the best basketball that we can at the beginning of March and take that as long as we possibly can through there.
Awesome. And then my question is how, Evan, you can chime in too for this one. Just with, we're slowly getting back to normal, but still some restrictions, of course, mainly in West Palm Beach. How have you and Evan been able to mesh in the quick time frame since you've gotten to campus up until whatever today's date is, July 14th?
Well, the good thing about being a college basketball coach, you spend half your life on your phone anyway. So I think Evan and I have talked, obviously every single day for multiple hours. Like as soon as I got the job, as soon as Evan was like, hey, I'm all in, I want to stay, I want to be in. And I lucked out being able to keep Evan on staff. And it's given me a jump start in this job because Evan knows the PBA culture so well. He knows how to maneuver around the university and get things done. So that's been a huge blessing for me in my life to just have him by my side. To be honest, my experience with COVID as a basketball coach was much different than what PBA experienced last year. Because in the GFC, the Gulf South, where I'm coming from, by the end of the year, it kind of felt like we played a pretty normal season once we got to start playing games. And so, up in Tennessee and some other states, it was just a little bit different. But Evan's filling me in a ton on like how different that experience was here and what that has meant to our guys and kind of what mental state and emotional state they're in regards to the game of basketball as I'm coming into this. So, Evan, you want to comment on that too?
No, I mean, I've known Coach Rose for the past couple of years, and because we played them the past couple of years and had the luxury of getting to know each other through that and seeing each other out recruiting, and it's been, I've respected him for a long time for what he's done up there, and the process, once he got hired on, it was a no-brainer that I wanted to stay on. I'm blessed to be able to be on staff with him, to get to learn from him. I mean, it was awesome. He came down for about 7-8 days and hung out, but was looking for a house down here and actually stayed at my house. So we got to know each other really, really well. And, I'm excited to keep getting to know him. And, like he kind of said, I think, knock on wood, the worst of the stuff is behind us. And, I know we're planning that way. I know the guys are feeling that way. So that's something I'm really excited about is looking forward to this year and getting back to a sense of normalcy.
Yeah, and then Coach Rose kind of opened my next question up for you, Evan. We already talked to Nate about it in the first episode. Nick and Jawan, feel free to jump into. What was it like for you? Does it sound like Coach Rose's team, Lee, and their conference was night and day compared to ours? What was your experience like this year with the very weird season when it came to, playing a handful of games, canceling games?
Well, kind of to answer your first part of it, it had its ups and downs, but, I felt blessed, kind of to echo what Coach said, like, I love coaching basketball. And, I told Nate, Jules, Alexander, Dan, a bunch of our guys on the team last year that, bad day coaching basketball for me is better than a good day anywhere else. And a lot of that comes from how much I enjoy being around our guys, the relationship I've built with them, the ability to coach them and them to receive the coaching. So from that standpoint, I mean, it wasn't ideal by any stretch, but, we got to play some games and it was a little difficult playing Florida Southern 4 times, but other than that, it was, got to know them really, really well through the process. So
you know it's bad when we play them enough that Nick and I got to make friends with the coaches and players.
I was gonna say
that's how often we started seeing them.
Even you guys were buddies with them.
That's how often we started seeing them. That we got buddy with these guys.
Yeah, no, it was, it was definitely an experience I'll never forget, but like I said, I'm excited the most for a sense of normalcy and, our season upcoming.
So anyone else, a quick question before, we keep digging into this. Nate, Jawan, Nick. All right, I'll put, Nick, go first. My bad.
I have a quick question for all aspects of basketball last year for Coach Rose, Coach Ev, and Nate. So how much of a difference did it make with no fans?
I mean, at first it was really, really weird. And then it just kind of got to be the new normal, and you just kind of go play and you just get used to it, and that's what it was. And so, I think one of the things that COVID probably taught everybody, especially us as coaches, is every single day you come to the office, whether that's a game day, a practice day, it could be the biggest game of the season. You don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes we get in the rhythms of life and just say no, it's going to be this way, but nothing's guaranteed. And COVID was a great reminder of even on a daily basis, you can have all the plans you want, but you got to be ready to pivot on those because something's going to happen. So, but yeah, no fans the first couple times. It was a little quiet for sure. for sure.
Did your guys' conference reopen fans towards the end of the season?
We did, yeah. And as it kind of continually got bigger and bigger in later in the season, and different universities were handling it different ways. I would say that too. Different universities handled it way differently. So gym size was a factor too. So there's some pretty big gyms in the GSC. So if you're at one of those, and I mean, there's a couple thousand people in the stands still. So that felt like a kind of a throwback to normalcy in some places. And then other places you would go and there was just nobody. I mean, just nobody in there. And you just got to play. At the end of the day, like what happens in those 4 lines, nothing outside of the 4 lines affects it. So it's just noise anyway.
Nate, did you want to answer Nick's question, or Evan?
Yeah. Like Coach Rose said, it's something you just had to get used to for real. Like you said, fans or no fans, I mean, we still gotta play. We still gotta handle our business. So whether it's 0 people, 1,000 people, whatever happened, we still gotta handle our business. So, I mean, it was definitely different. Like, it was definitely different. You couldn't hide or nothing like that. Everything was really on display, which I kind of liked too. But
Nate, created. Did you regret not having fans in that first game against Southern when you had the posterizing dunk?
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I already know. Yeah, like the Ruben would have went crazy for sure. But like I said, like, that's gotta happen whether we have fans or not for real. So, and it's crazy. Like my first game playing last year had no fans, and my heart was like. Was beating out my chest that first game. So it's like, in the end, it's still a basketball game, you know? But that's how I feel about it.
Evan?
No, yeah. At the end of the day, that, like Nate said, that first day back, it was awesome. I mean, didn't get the result we wanted that first game, but we were back to playing basketball.
Yeah.
Which, like Coach said, you can't take anything for granted. And, if that's ever been more obvious, that's right now. But no, I mean, it's definitely something I missed, but once you get in the flow of it and you lock in as a coach, as a player, you get really focused and you kind of just all washes away to everything that's inside those 4 lines.
Awesome. This one is for Coach Rose again. Coming from your conference is Gulf South?
Yes, sir.
Gulf South, and now you're coming to the SSC. Does the competition level increase coming into I don't want to be biased with our conference. I just know we have some great teams at the top, or, because we're all in the South region, is that same talent level still, across both conferences?
No, it's a great question. I would say it's different for sure. The style of play is a little bit different. I think competition level, better or worse, probably depends on the year, on which teams are up and which teams are down. But I will say, I think the South region is the strongest region in the country. And the Gulf South and the Sunshine State Conference are 2 heavy hitters in that. And one thing that was super attractive to me about this job was like, if you can finish in the top 3 or 4 of the Sunshine Conference, like, you got a real chance to play in the national tournament. And the way the national tournament is in Division II, it's not like Division I, right? It's not like a 1 seed versus 16 seed. Like, if you're winning in the Sunshine Conference and playing well at the right time, you have a legitimate chance to compete on a national scale. And that's where we want to go with this thing. That's where we want our program to be sooner rather than later. So some people might look at it and say like, man, it's a tough conference and I don't know about that. And it is a super tough conference. But to me, that's a great opportunity, because if you can compete in that, then you can compete anywhere.
Yeah, it's an extremely tough conference, as we all have seen our fair share. But so we'll move on. We'll talk about now, we'll talk about the NBA Finals real quick. We've got a game 4 tonight. Evan, the floor is yours first. You have the most writing on. Oh, Coach Rose, do you have a favorite team actually?
My favorite team's the Bucks now, just because Evan's so nervous on game day whenever they're playing. So I gotta support him. I'm just going with him because I don't want to see him disappointed, and I know how he is emotionally right now, and I don't think I can handle it because I know he can't handle it.
Well, I remember after the Packers blew their game against the Bucks last year, we went to check up on him. Man, and Jawan too. Jawan's a Packers fan too. So yeah, both of them were, in a different state of mind for those. But Evan, break it down for us. What do you think is going to happen tonight?
Yeah, I mean, y'all have seen me after Ohio State losing to Alabama. And,
Oh yeah, Nick too.
you know,
And Nate. Man, we got a lot of affiliations in this.
you know, my teams have gotten so close the whole year, and I think this is the one that's going to do it. You know, I think this is going to be kind of a Chris Middleton game, where he really, really plays well at home, and the same way he kind of took over for about a quarter and a half there against the Atlanta Hawks in one of those games that was really, really important to them winning the series. I think, you know, he's going to help lift up Giannis and his just Goliath effort that has just been absolutely absurd. And it's one of those things where, you know, it's all about adjustments. And that's what the 7-game series is really, really interesting from a coaching perspective, because you get to see all the little adjustments. You know, the NCAA tournament is awesome. It's my favorite thing in the whole world, but it's one and you're done, you know, one and you're done. And then the NBA finals, you get to see, and all the playoffs, you get 7 games of the same team, 4 to 7 games of the same 2 teams going at it. And I think the way they've competed, I think the Bucks go in and hold home court by somewhere between 10 and 15. Feeling pretty good about it. You know, I'm
real confident.
Ride home. You know, Lord gave me good vibes, so I'm bringing the good vibes to the Zoom, and I got the Bucks holding home court. So make it to a game 7, and anything can happen.
All right, so we got Bucks 1 for Evan. Coach Rose, what about you? Your predictions?
I'm Bucks by 100. I'm
Man,
just rolling with Evan.
this is a biased Bucks chat.
Evan and I are a team, man. I got his back. 100, at least 100.
Alex,
Jeez.
you asked for a hot take. Coach Rose came.
I don't think you can get hotter than that.
It's scalding.
Jawan, what about you?
I really want the Suns to pull it off and win a home game, but I feel like the Bucks is gonna just that confidence from last game. I feel like they're gonna come through and even up the series. So I got the Bucks winning tonight.
Nick, so 3 for the Bucks so far.
I got the Bucks winning. I think they're going to take what they got last game and carry it over. I think last game, like Evan said, Chris Middleton was – I think that last game Chris Middleton did well, but Giannis did good. I think both of them are going to do well tonight. So,
Hey, any love for the Suns or –
I want the Suns to win, but what the Bucks did to them last game, bro, that was bad. Like, I got to go with the Bucks. Like, the way they're playing right now, I don't see no way stopping them.
Nate knows who butters his bread.
He's got to get on the coach's good sides now.
That's right. He had no choice.
Oh man, I was hoping at least one of you guys would pick the Suns. I want the Suns to win. I love Chris Paul. I'm gonna take the Suns winning on a buzzer beater tonight.
Oh, wow.
I'll say 108-106, a Chris Paul buzzer beater.
DP buzzer beater.
And NBA Twitter is gonna explode after that. But like a broadcaster's prediction, Bucks by about 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's from the fan side and my broadcast side. All right, so next, we talked about in our group chat, Team USA basketball. Man, I don't care they won last night. They still stink.
they're negative on the season.
I've never seen it this bad. Coach Rose and Coach Evan were the only ones around to see the dream team. So, I mean, we'll let you guys go again. Coach Rose, is this rock bottom for Team USA basketball right now?
Well, I mean, here's what I would say. The rest of the world has gotten significantly better. I mean, especially if you're talking the dream team in 92, like the rest of the world has gotten significantly better. And so that bar has raised. Now, I don't think that the expectation for Team USA has dropped any. So the bar is raised by the rest of the world. Team USA has dropped. Here's the other thing I would say, you take that Australia team, right? Those guys have been playing together since they were 14 years old.
Yeah.
Right? And they've been living for this moment. And there's like, you can never underestimate. And I know that the culture of Twitter and Instagram and stuff, they want to make basketball an individual game, but it's not. And you can never underestimate that. It's a whole team getting together and doing it. And so in a lot of ways, I think that's what Team USA is going through. You can't play these things like an all-star game when you're playing a real team, and they're gonna have to figure that out. I would offer no criticism of Coach Pop ever, because he is like, if there's anybody to figure this thing out, it'll be him. And he'll probably take these losses in these exhibition rounds and use them to make their team better.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say they still win gold.
All right. Evan, from one coach to another.
Oh, I mean, you know, I'm a big Popovich guy, so I think it's all in the master plan. You know, he's always got a plan. The dude won more consistently over 20 years than anyone else. And I mean, I think one thing the guys have to adjust to is FIBA rules are different and the game is ref different.
They don't call flops.
Or not only are you playing with a whole new group of guys, it's ref fairly different. And, you know, you have little intricacies to the rules, like the cylinder rule is different. And, you know, being able to play above the rim on the goaltend's a little different, where it's an adjustment period. And like Coach said, the rest of the world has gotten really, really competitive. And it's like those teams are all no joke, full of dudes who are playing in the NBA or could be in the NBA, but are making a better living playing in their home countries. And, you know, it's something that's going to be really, really fun to watch come Olympic time.
Nick?
I mean, Coach Rose touched on this, but from a fan's view of this, the USA has set the bar for Olympic basketball ever since the Dream Team. And we might not hear of Australia and Nigeria again, but you know that they beat USA early in the expedition round. And the thing is like, they're all playing to beat USA. And going into that, like all the off season and training for 4 years, it's all right, how are we going to beat USA? We're going to scheme and all this. But then just moving into it, it's like, you look at the starting five for Team USA and they're all on different NBA teams. So they don't play with each other. They really don't have any chemistry with each other. And at the end of the day, they're great in the NBA, but there's really no chemistry, and they lost the first 2 games. So it's like the first 2 games, they just don't have a feel for it. And I think as it goes on, they'll start to get a feel for it, because they're some of the best players at the highest level for basketball, but they just don't have that chemistry yet, that all these teams where the guys aren't in the NBA have that bond with each other.
Juwan, what about you? Kind of like your take on it, I think, when we talked about it the other day.
Yeah, I just think it's a little early. It's exhibition game, so it doesn't really like matter at this point. I feel like if they could just catch a groove, a little bit more ball movement, they'll be able and be capable to get gold. We don't have to send the best. I feel like even though the world is caught up, I feel like we don't have to send the best like 15 top to bottom to like win a gold medal. So I feel like we'll still win a gold medal, but the margin of error is more slim now. Like you can't, the margin of error right now is like super slim, with just all these other teams competing at a high level and have that chemistry. One thing that surprised me, was anybody surprised that Luis Scola was still playing?
Yeah,
I grew up watching Luis Scola, and he's just gray haired. He looks in great shape.
How old is he, Juwan?
41 years old. 41
Wow.
years old, still playing for Argentina, playing for his country. So I thought that was funny. And like Patty Mills just flipping the switch whenever he gets into Australian uniform. I believe that's funny as well. But yeah, it's exciting. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Watching them compete.
Nate?
Yeah, I just feel like they gotta adjust. Like the FIBA rules are different, and a lot of I think it's like a few of those guys first time playing the Olympics too. The first time playing together with those group of guys, stuff like that. So I mean, and they got Coach Pop, so like Coach said, like if anything, he's gonna get them right. But I don't want them to get too cocky in a sense. Like I felt like, I don't know, like they should know like everybody's gunning for the head of the snake. Like everybody's gonna play their best game against Team USA. So maybe it takes them, getting hit in the mouth a little bit to really wake up. But I think they're gonna like be cool and end up winning gold for sure.
For me, we got 5 minutes left, so I'll make mine brief. Nigeria has significantly improved, and that was an eye opener.
That was crazy.
In that game, I didn't realize how loaded that team was with Nigerian to NBA talent, and I kind of would have liked to see Bam on that team because I know he declined the Nigerian national team invitation to stay with Team USA, so I'd love to see that. But I think Nick and I were on the phone about it. I was very critical of Team USA because we're not supposed to lose. This is the easiest medal we're supposed to get. There should just be a cakewalk for a whole week. But I'm still nervous about them. I still think everyone wants to go out there and showboat more noticeably in that Australia game in the final 4 minutes where they scored just 1 point. I think everyone started to, turn into like, I'll carry us, don't worry. I think they all need to be a little less selfish. And then, get Draymond off the court. I genuinely don't know how he is on the Olympic team, or Kevin Love. But I think Team USA, I would love to see Team USA Nigeria in the gold medal game. I think that's a great story, with a lot of NBA guys, and Nigeria's on the come up. Yeah, that's me. So we have 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Final thoughts. Nick, share the big final thought. What happened on Sunday? We're going to celebrate.
So Sunday, the conclusion of the Euro Cup for soccer happened, and mine and Alex's motherland won Italy, and we're gonna take the cup back to Rome.
Yes.
Very.
Oh yeah, that's our.
It ended in penalty kicks, and wow.
Very proud. One of my teams finally wins a big, game.
Real talk though.
Yeah. All right. So final thoughts. Anyone, just whatever's on your mind before we wrap things up here.
I appreciate Coach Ed and Coach Rose for coming on. I haven't talked to y'all on Zoom or whatever in a while, so I appreciate that for real.
Yeah. Thank you guys again. We
Coach.
can't wait to get down there. Before you know, we'll all be down there again for school.
Sure.
Yeah, great to meet all you guys. Thank you for having me on for sure. And I love what y'all are doing. I love the enthusiasm around the program, around athletics at PBA and the student body. And man, thank you for having me on. I could not be more thrilled to be at Palm Beach Atlantic.
Awesome. Well, we're so glad to have you here. We're excited for a new era of Sailfish basketball coming up this season with fans back. So it feels like we're starting everything over. But all right, so I'll turn the record off button here in a minute. For Nate, Jawan, Nick, Coach Evan, and Coach Cole Rose, I'm Alex. Thank you guys for tuning in Inside the Tank. We'll see you next week, and go Sailfish.